Do you think people would lie about it and be like, "Oh yeah, you wouldn't know my boyfriend. He's an upload."
He goes to a different.
Today we are joined by Bree. You might know her as Story Mode Bae, and we are going to talk about the astrology of upload. Dare I say, bring these characters to life? So charge your crystals, flip a tarot card, light a candle. We're about to go in the stars with upload. Let's talk about who I think everyone needs a good work buddy, the best friend one could ask for. Let's talk about Alicia.
I'm gonna get you, Luke.
I know if I worked at Horizon, that is absolutely who I would want to sit next to. Got the jokes, does their job, has fun, got
Work
your
wife.
back, work wife, absolute work wife material. We love Alicia.
I love Alicia, and I had such a hard time trying to figure out what her sign is. I went with Aries because my fiance is an Aries, and I just love Aries. They're so fun. They're like the most down sign in my opinion. They're always saying yes, but also they're not going to back down from a fight. They're confident. Aries, I think, is another one of those underrated hardworking signs where people think they're all fun, but they work really hard too. And Alicia mentions that she has 3 jobs. She's a dog walker. She does hair. She's a night manager at a halal restaurant. 4 jobs. She also works at Lakeview. She definitely gives like a horny Aries quote when she says the quickest way to get over a guy is to get under a new one. She won't apologize to Luke when they're having their kind of back and forth little game fight thing. And it's not that Aries don't apologize. I just think that when they want to win, they're not going to back down. Because I think Aries are actually a sign that's pretty quick to apologize. It's not always the apology you want, but they will say, "Oh, I'm sorry." And they're competitive. They go hard in playing games. They're fun. So that's why I think Alicia could be an Aries.
Yeah, I was actually going to agree with everything that you said. She gave big Aries energy. And yeah, she's down for whatever. And you definitely need that kind of friend in your life. You know, she is just so competitive as well. So competitive that even though she was trying to help Luke at the end, you know, win the egg hunt, mind you, it didn't seem like any of the other employees at Horizon were really concerned about the egg. But Alicia, she was so focused on winning. She had a backup plan with David. She said, "I'm going to take home that prize money no matter what." And if that's not competitive, I don't know what is.
I do think there's some Aries afoot, but as soon as she called Luke a goofy bitch, I was like, this is a no-nonsense Taurus woman of my dreams. Yeah. I think that Taco Bell centric 6th episode, which was really the Alicia show, just really broke down how Venus Taurus she is. We stan Alicia, refusing to apologize. I think where Aries can be quick to change, that's where I think of the Taurus that's like, no, I'm a bull, digging my heels in, and I said I'm gonna win. I said I'm not gonna say sorry to you. I'm gonna steal your fingers. I actually run this place and you don't even know this. It's that like secret boss sort of energy, since Aries does get that like I'm first, and Taurus is like, actually I'm the one that like finishes the job. Now I do think I could totally see her with an Aries personal planet, stellium, Mercury, Venus, Mars, how she's talking, how she's getting the things that she wants, the things that she desires. But I get like a goofy, also, you know, goofy bitch to another goofy bitch, Sag energy. I think she lives very no regret. She's doing the most. She's very focused on the future, but also doesn't live fearfully, which is what I like about Sag, where Taurus is maybe a little more cautious. But I think she definitely has some freewheeling fire in there.
I like that. I agree with Stevie. I also get Taurus vibes, and I like this Sag take. I would say maybe a Sag rising, which would put that Taurus in the 6th house of work and routine. Obviously, she is a super hard worker, even though she keeps getting written up and does not change her behavior whatsoever. Another point for Taurus, IMO. And I also like the idea of her being a Taurus with Nora's Scorpio. They are opposites who have similar, you know, you know, they meet in the middle, any polarity, but they kind of come at it from an opposite way. And I think that Nora is very much like in everyone else's stuff. And Alicia is like, how can I make this the most fun for me? Which I also think goes with that Sag rising too, that kind of like, you know, say anything, good time. I think that's also why she can like get away with getting written up so many times, is just because she's like, who cares? I'm still doing my job. Again, similar to Nora, I think that's like where they get along, where they're like, yeah, these are the things that you can do. It's not technically breaking the rules if you're still doing all of your jobs. Well, if we're talking about Alicia, we've got to go to her #1 adversary. Let's talk about Luke.
Now, everybody, have you heard? If you're in the game, then the stroke's the word.
I found Aries and Gemini present. We see the military thing. We go to Mars right away. I go to Aries right away. Mars rules the military. It rules war and all of that kind of stuff. So, and specifically when he kind of chooses the military suit, I think that to me speaks to some Aries there. I'm going to go Aries rising. I feel like Aries rising, the world is set up in the way that makes sense. And that seems to be maybe true for Luke. I'm gonna go Gemini. I think the whole best friends thing to me is so Gemini. I think Geminis love to make people around them feel important. And every time I hang out with one of my Gemini friends, I'm like, this is my best friend. And then, you know, hang out with another one of my Gemini friends, I'm like, this is my best friend. They're so good at making you feel like comfortable and important. They're fun to be around. They're chatty, definitely hacking life. Like that's all air sign to me, having life hacks, afterlife hacks. But I think he's a little bit like forthcoming, or maybe like almost desperate for Nathan's friendship. And that to me is not Gemini. So I'm going to go Gemini. I'm going to say that maybe, you know, personal planets can move from 1 to 2 signs from your sun sign. So maybe he has some Aries and Taurus placements. Maybe there's a little bit more of that, you know, the tender heart and that kind of thing. I could also see Leo. I guess I really just named all of the first signs of the zodiac. What do you guys think?
I think that's right on. I also got Aries vibes. I mean, he's kind of goofy and horny. Aries, he's in the military. Aries, like Lisa said, ruled by Mars, which is the planet of fighting and that is what we see him do, whether he's kind of playfully fighting with Alicia or sleeping with someone's grandma. That's very Aries behavior to me. I also could see Gemini because he is kind of playful in that way and talkative. The friendship aspect, absolutely. But I think some of that is still pretty Aries to me. Aries is the first sign. They are very comfortable initiating. And he clearly is just like, I have to make a friend. I have to go to this thing. He's kind of bold in that way and in a way that feels kind of not thought out, whereas Gemini feels a little more, I don't know, dare I say smart. You know, I think that I think he has a lot of energy and he's a good heart, but he's not exactly the brightest bulb in the hotel. I feel like Aries is so like go, go, go. And this idea of him being at this one place for all of eternity is like an Aries nightmare. And so I think that's also why we see him kind of need to be more combative, but not in a way where he's mean or like picking fights. It's more just like I have energy. I kind of can't help but engage with these things. And I think that that's a very Aries trait too, where they don't mean to in a mean or like harmful way, but they do kind of see everyone and everything as a challenge to be like kind of wrestled with, and that's how they engage with the world. And I really see that with Luke, especially with his relationship with Alicia.
I love their banter, just like back and forth, and I feel like Alicia was Luke's perfect match, and then vice versa as well. I definitely do see Aries with him, but I was kind of leaning more towards Gemini. I mean, he's definitely quick-witted. We saw that with him and Alicia and pretty much anyone he went up to bat with. And I mean, I feel like Gemini sometimes get a bad rap because they're known as being a little bit erratic, but that's not always necessarily a bad thing. I mean, they're also spontaneous and they're curious as well. I mean, we saw that when he was going to the dark web and when he was sleeping in the hot tub that he wasn't supposed to be in, and trying to get Nathan to go to that bar so they could pick up chicks, and you know, you weren't supposed to be there either. And I just see all of these Gemini traits in Luke, and yeah, he's just like honestly a big kid. And it is very surprising that someone like him would want to be stuck at Horizon for, what, thousands of years maybe? As long as you can pay.
All eternity?
All of eternity.
I had a little bit of what everyone's saying too, but I got Scorpio. I think I was also thinking of Alicia as this Taurus, this polarity dynamic again of that tit for tat that they have that's just so effortless with them, and it's just like sharp and funny, and it's great to watch. But I think as soon as he took the boys to the dark web, that was my like, this is a Scorpio. Who would even know about this dark web? I love the dark web. I need a whole spin-off series on that place. It really just blew my mind. I don't know if anyone else really wants to go to the dark web, but I think too, like figuring out the stuff that other people can't. I do like maybe like a Gemini moon. He does need like a lot of validation. And I think that that can be the Gemini-ness of like, you like me, right? Like, oh, good. We don't have to start a relationship over when he thought he got his whole, brain wiped again. And just needing that attention, which I think is also very Aries. I could see like an Aries rising, Gem moon, Scorpio sun. I mean, this has to come up in season 2. I mean, we haven't seen it yet, but him and Alicia are definitely... I felt it. I felt it. Okay. It hasn't been that explicit yet, but I'm praying.
Or is it them?
I don't know.
He laying it on and she's taking it in stride, or is it they both like it? That's what I can't tell.
I think they both like it.
But she's funny, I don't know. It's hard. I could see it together for sure, but she might take some convincing.
That's our thoughts on Luke. Sound off on the comments and let us know what sign you think he is. Okay, let's talk about the man of mystery, the man of not many words. Let's talk about Jamie.
Jamie Arpass. No way. Look who finally decided to pick up.
Sorry, I can't talk right now.
Let's talk about Jamie. We don't see him a lot. His absence, I would say, is a character in and of itself. Perhaps. But what do you guys think about Jamie?
For me, Jamie was hard because, like you said, we didn't really see him too much. I mean, I feel like it's easy to kind of put him as a Capricorn for me because of the, career-driven and hardworking. We did see those parts, but I don't know. I kind of need you guys' help on this one because the fact that he slept with Ingrid, the fact that he wasn't at Nathan's wedding, those traits, I don't know where to necessarily put him. What do you guys think?
So I also thought Capricorn straight off. In the first episode, Nathan accuses him of caring about who gets credit for the idea. And to me, I think anything where it's like you're getting credit or you're the face of something, that's definitely Capricorn. I also see that he puts the business first in a lot of these situations. He seems to be very shrewd in business. He seems to care about business. To me, that's Capricorn. I also think that if a Capricorn is going to sleep with your girl, they're definitely not going to want to show their face. Like Capricorns care about the way things appear. So I think it would be hard for them to admit and come to you and say like, hey, I slept with your girlfriend, or like, I have feelings for her, anything like that. I think they would avoid. We just talked about him being mysterious and kind of secretive. I think those traits normally we put on water signs. I think in this case, we could say as a Capricorn, maybe playing cards close to the chest, I think is very Capricorn, like not showing your hand. So I'm going to go with Capricorn as well.
I like the Capricorn too. Just in a straight business sense. But also I was thinking more along the lines of, if I'm going with Nathan's rising sign that I gave him as an Aquarius rising, then that would make his 12th house Capricorn. And 12th house is said to be where we can find our hidden enemies. Even though I do think that, to be fair, Nathan is definitely the hidden enemy in this show. But then maybe on the flip side, if Jamie is this Capricorn, then maybe his rising is Libra rising, because that would make his 12th house Virgo, which would be Nathan as his secret enemy, sort of like a 12th house flip-flops. But I could see Libra rising too, because Jamie does seem to be a bit people-pleasing. I could see it being that Venus attraction thing for Ingrid. Also just straight up maybe like air sign ghosting, running away from this problem of like, I don't know how to deal, so bye, I'm cute, I gotta run.
I don't disagree with either. I can see all of the Capricorn. I feel like good cases have been made. I'm going to go opposite, though, and I'm going to say Cancer. Because I think the avoiding is very Cancerian to me. Cancer is symbolized by the crab, and we think of that sideways movement. Cancer always kind of burying their head in the sand, going in their own shell, kind of being in their own thing. Cancer really wants to feel needed, and I think that knowing that Nathan is really the kind of linchpin of this operation would make him feel kind of resentful, and maybe like taking that out in a way, knowing that he needs him business wise, but taking it out on him in this other way feels very Cancer. I could also see some Sag or Aquarius there, maybe with a moon or a rising, again with that kind of like sales sort of thing, but also just staying on that kind of like, I can morally, ethically convince myself that this is okay because I did this, whether that be his own behavior of being like, I don't have to go to this thing because I slept with your girlfriend, or I can go off and do my own thing now that you've been uploaded and kind of take off any guilt that I have. Both Sag and Aquarius have that kind of like carefree, out of sight, out of mind sort of feeling.
Yeah, he was very much a man of very few words, but it was just, I feel like we saw all the worst sides of him, really. Yeah, I'm kind of curious if he's going to be in season 2 or if there's even a need for him to be there.
I think there is. I think going into season 2, I do think that there's more to the story, and I do think that this is not like, it's not as clear cut who did what and what their motivations are. So I do think that there is absolutely a chance for Jamie to redeem himself season 2 if we get to see more of him.
There's still a lot to uncover, and it just like started getting really scary at the end of season 1. So I'm excited to see that more chase scene, whodunit, what is this big tech phenomena kind of like really breakdown. I think that's where we're gonna probably hopefully have a little more Jamie.
I hope we are not done with Jamie, just like I hope we are not done with any of these people. We want more of them and more of us talking about astrology of these characters. That's been the astrology of Upload. Be sure to sound off in the comments and let us know how you think we did.
Like, subscribe, and let us know which Amazon Prime shows you want us to break down.
We're What's Your Sign? We have a podcast out every Monday. If you like this, come check us out wherever you get your podcasts.
And Bree, where can our viewers find you?
Hey guys, I am Story Mode Bay on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, literally everywhere. Thank you guys so much for having me here. I learned so much. Thank you.
Oh,
thank you for doing it.
Thank
Virgo,
you.
Virgo legend.
There we go.
Yes, Virgo, baby. Thank you. Thank you, Bree, for joining us. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time in the stars.
Whoa! Oh my God! I see the
See you later.
We have to try everything. Right?
Hello.
This the nighttime.
I don't care about the show. I just want a good blooper reel.
I want to learn science.
You guys are gonna make me look like I'm in the show, right? You're gonna put in the effects. Replace the green. I don't want to look like an asshole here.
Sorry.